Hello everyone, hope you must doing well. So in the previous video we get familiar about some tools which is there and we have familiar about the outliner panel. Okay, so in this video we are going to explore some tools and the features, or we are going to explore all the sub options which are available there. So right over here, so I'm going to line by line I'm going to explain you everything. Okay, so before doing that I'm going to on the screencast, so that whatever key I am using, the shortcut or anything that will be visible for you. Okay, so from here you will get all the shortcuts or whatever keys I am pressing. Okay, so the first setting which is right over here, that is, these all are the properties. Okay, so first thing which is a render property. Okay, so in the render property, the first thing which we need to know, that is the render engine. Okay, so there are two type of render engines, that is Eevee, the workbench, and the cycle. Okay, so first thing, I will take two terms, that Eevee and the cycle. Okay, so if I talk about the cycle type engine, it is basically it is based on the ray tracing. Okay, and what the ray tracing determines, it determines the more realistic your scene going to be. But in the cycles it is going to be more heavy also, that if you are not having that much of good hardware, the RAM, the CPU or GPU, then probably this engine may stop your blender not responding. So based on whatever the polygon or whatever the heavy scene you are having, okay, or the heavy scene you are looking for, but a cycle is very important and it is provide the more realistic render. Okay, so if you are going to click on cycles, there is option supported and experimental. Okay, so currently I'm having a GPU. Okay, so that's why it is supported. Okay, so in our device you can select CPU or either a GPU. Okay, so I'm selecting GPU. And why I'm selecting GPU? Because I'm having a GPU, dedicated GPU, which is more powerful than CPU. Okay, so that's why I'm using the GPU. So whatever the primary processing or whatever processing which should be should be worked or handled by the GPU, so that will be handled by the GPU. That's why I said to GPU compute. Okay, so if you are also having a dedicated GPU, whether you are using a desktop computer or whether you are using a laptop. Okay, so first thing you need to change to cycle, then you need to, obviously you are having a dedicated GPU, then it is going to be supported. Okay, then you are going to have a GPU compute. Okay, so this is a setting which you need to change to use your dedicated GPU. But the another setting is also there, so you need to go in the edit and the preferences. Okay, so here this dialog box will appear. In this you need to go to system. Okay, so by default it will set to none. Okay, so there is CUDA, optics X and HIP and one AIP. Okay, so these two are not supported because this is based on the AMD GPU. Okay, so the GPU which I am having, that is of NVIDIA GPU, so that's why it is not supported. Okay, and this optics X and the CUDA is the one which you need to look out. Okay, so it by default it is again set to none. but you need to enable, you can enable the CUDA, but to be more efficient and powerful to utilize everything, you can set to optics X. Okay, so currently the GPU which I'm having, that is RTX 3070, and I'm having a AMD processor. Okay, so if I, as I already told you in a HIP, as I told, I'm not having a AMD GPU. Okay, so this one is a CPU. Okay, so the GPU which I'm having, that is of NVIDIA, so don't get confused. Okay, if you're going to see you are having that AMD, okay, so this is a CPU, not a GPU. Okay, so this one is supporting the AMD GPU. Okay, so I don't have AMD GPU, I have a AMD CPU. Okay, so GPU I'm having of NVIDIA. Hope it is clear now. So by default, if you want to enable the GPU only, you can switch to this only, but I prefer to enable both options, so there they would work. Okay, they would work together to maximize the performance. Okay, so by default it will be automatically saved. So if you want this setting should be followed in any Blender file, whatever new file you will create, so you need to click on this and save as preferences. Okay, so by saving to preferences, whenever you will open a new file, this setting will be load automatically. Okay, you don't need to go again in the edit and preferences and go to system. You need to take these both option again. So simply click on this save preferences, then whatever a new file you will open in future, then the factory setting which you saved with before, by here that will be load automatically. Okay, so we have done with this and we also done with this. Okay, so if I talk about workbench, so it is not possible to explain indirectly, but it is a workbench determines that it will render the scene, the whatever currently you are having. Okay, doesn't matter you are in a X-ray mode or a wireframe mode or a shading mode or a Eevee or a cycle mode, it will render the scene whatever mode you are having. Okay, so not that much you will get clear about it, but in future I will explain it. Okay, so if you are not having that much of good CPU or a GPU, then you can switch to Eevee. Okay, for now I am switching to cycle and the GPU compute I am enabling. Okay, so there is a few settings, there are too many settings, but I need to go to some few settings which is good for the level which we are currently on. Okay, so this is a sample rate. Okay, and this is denoising. Okay, this is a viewport and this is a render. Okay, so the viewport determines this one. Okay, so by default it is set to 1024. You can switch to 128. Okay, or you can switch to 32. Okay, the more you will go, the higher the resolution is. Okay, so same here also, the more you will give the number, the higher the sample rate, then higher the quality will be. Okay, but again it is going to depend upon the hardware you are having. Okay, so need to look these settings before having any render. Okay, so we'll practically have all this look in future. Okay, so I'm explaining all the steps, so before going to any modeling type stuff, so you should be familiar about all these, so that's why I'm explaining all this. So then there is a output property. So in the output property there is a resolution. Okay, so you need to see right here 1920 pixel and 1080 pixel. Okay, so this is a HD quality, and if you are going to click here, Okay, so there is a various presets. Okay, 4K. Okay, 4K is also having a two types, sorry, the three types. Okay, and DVC is also having, HD TV is also having. Okay, so by default it is currently set to this one, HD TV 1080 pixel. Okay. The percentage is the quality of this one. Okay, if you are going to make it 50%, then whatever resolution you are set with, the output of will be divided by 50%. Okay, that means if the quality, if we are assuming to be 100%, then the output quality will be 50%. Okay, because we decreases the 50% and the 50% is remaining. Okay, so quality will be decreased to 50%. Okay, so for now I'm setting to 100. Okay, so there is a render region also which we will look in future. So this is the output setting by which you will click on this folder and you will get our new dialog box. Okay, so here you will need to select the location of the output. Okay, it is same as any other software where you need to click on there and you will the place or the location where you want the export image or the export video or the audio. Okay, so there are different file formats also. If you are rendering a image, then in image, if I talk about the maximum and the superior quality is determined by the PNG. Okay, so here we have the PNG. We have also option of JPG. Okay, so you can also have that also for image I'm talking. Okay, so under the PNG there are three options. Okay, that BW determines black and white, RGB determines red, green and blue, and RGBA determines red, green, blue and alpha. Okay, A means alpha. So when you want to render a background free, that means a transparent background, and you want that object should be appear and the background should be transparent, then you need to click on this option. Okay, and there is a color depth, 8-bit color depth and 16-bit color depth. Okay, this is for this part, and there is another, that's view layer. So under view layer, at this level again, probably things may not going to be understand by you, but some things you can look out. For example, the normal one, the diffused and the glossy. Okay, even the transmission also. So all these things we will study in later chapters. Okay, then there is a scene property. Okay, so again there are various options. Okay, but let's explore the unit one. Okay, so unit one determines whatever unit you are having. Okay, so if I'm going to over here, okay, and you are going to press N in your keyboard. Okay, it is showed here also whatever key I am pressing. So if I go to here, the item one. Okay, so the location, the rotation and the scale and the dimension. Okay, so if I talk about the location, the measurement unit is set to meter. Okay, even in the dimension, the measurement unit is set to meter. Okay, so if I, for example, as I discussed before, if I, for example, click on this scale one, okay, select the cube, and I want it should be increase it on the z-axis. Okay, so I will grab this blue one and increase it. Okay, so when I'm increasing this, you need to look here also. Okay, so I'm increasing it in a z-axis, so that's why only the values of z-axis and the dimension of z-axis is increasing. Okay, so if I increase this z1, the value of here is also increasing. Okay, so the point is The units is by default is in meter. Okay, the m represents the meter. Okay, so if I unit system is meter. Okay, if you want to be in centimeter or anything, you need to go by length. Meter you can set to centimeter. Okay, so it will change here also. Okay, but I want it should be in meter. Okay, so I'm setting it to in meter. So this is setting I want to tell you in the here. And again there is a word setting, so that I will discuss in future. Okay, then there is a collection property, the collection property where you are having right now, so that it is also here. So and there is a object property, so it is a different visibility is there, so we'll cover that in future. And there is a modifier property, so here there are different modifiers. Okay, the solidify modifier, probably we will work on that. We will use this. The mirror modifier, we will use this. The shrink wrap is also there, this one, so we will use this also in future. The array one is also great one, so this is also a great. And the solidify and the wireframe. Okay, so these are the modifiers. Okay, again there are various tools and particle properties, physical properties and constraint, and there is again the shape keys. Okay, vertex group and shape keys. So these are the things which you can explore, and when in future when we proceed with learning, we'll explore and discuss with the practical examples. Okay, and the last second one is material property. So if you want to, the material property determines the color of this object. Okay, so if you want to make this cube of red color, okay, so the base color by which you can change it. Okay, so simply click on this and drag it towards the red. Okay, so if you are wondering why it is not changing the color, because we are in a viewport mode, in a solid mode. Okay, so the whatever color, it will not be visible here. Okay, so these are two options, Eevee and the render one. So we can go to this one. Okay, so hope you got. If I change the color with the yellow or the green or the sky blue or the blue or a pink or a purple, okay, so we can change that. Okay, then there is a last one is a texture property, so by which you are can add different textures. Okay, okay, so this is all about today's video, and some more things which I would like to explain you here. Before proceeding with anything, we are going to have this options. Okay, so let's again back to shading mode. So currently we are in a object mode. Okay, so that's why it is written over here, the object mode. Okay, so if I'm going to be in edit mode, you will see, okay, the shortcut key Alt A, that will select all the selected vertex, face or the edge. Okay, so when you are in object mode, you can simply click the object. Okay, neither you can select the vertex, neither you can select the edge, and neither you can select a face. Okay, but in edit mode, which you can directly toggle by tab key. Okay, so object and edit mode. So here you are having options. Okay, so there are three options: the vertex one, the edge one, and the face one. Okay, if you want to select the vertex, you can select the vertex, and if you want to move it in a, for example, in a y direction. Okay, so you can do that. Okay, for example, if you are going to select this edge one, and by which effect you can select the edge, so you can move like this. Okay, in whatever direction you would like to. And there is a face one, by which effect you can select the face. Okay, yeah, this one, or you want to increase this part, so this one. Okay, and again we can move to object mode either by clicking here, or either by simply pressing the tab. Okay, so again I would like to go to material preview mode. So here is a shape which we made random. Okay, there are more options available, that is coupling option. So when you click on this option, okay, different brush will come. Okay, so probably you have heard about these. So these are all our brushes by which you can deform the shape or anything. Okay, then there is a vertex paint and the weight paint and the texture painting. Okay, so these are the different mode. You can go one by one, but I will discuss all these in future. Okay, so let's minimize this one. Yeah, so hope you get the more idea about the basic tools and the interface, and you will get more familiar about the blender. Okay, so so anything from your side which you would like to tell me, the suggestion or anything, or things to improve, you can tell me by comment, by doing comments. Okay, and we will look at that part. And if I explain you more about these things. Okay, so here you are having, so simply go on edit and preferences. Okay, so if I talk about this animation part or the interface, okay, there is a issue with the save and load option. Okay, so I would like to explain that part only. Okay, so this is a auto save option, so by which effect if you want that whatever you are doing, that will save automatically in a 1 minute. Okay, the timer in bracket it's written minutes. Okay, so every 1 minute whatever progress you are doing in blender, that will be saved in every 1 minute. Okay, if you are going to press 5, okay, so whatever progress will be saved in every 5 minutes. Okay, so I would like to be on 1. Okay, and there is a undo steps also. Okay, that you will get in the system. Okay, so by default it probably set to I don't know, it is set to maybe 30 or something, but I would like to keep it 1 to 56. Okay, so the if sometime it probably helps me. Okay, undo step determines the control Z. Okay, so if I press the control Z button, okay, here you can see. Okay, so these are all things which we have did. Okay, so if we are having an option, for example 2, okay, so we can only go back with 2 steps only back. So that's why I set to 256. So if in any case I want to back, okay, so I can do that. Okay, so these settings also I want to tell you. So from this video, from another further videos, probably going to model something or anything based on the mind which probably I'm having or the time. Okay, so let's end this video, and hope you doing well, and Any suggestion, please tell me in comment, and bye.